excited?
Very excited. It's my first time.
All right. See, isn't that nice?
Very nice.
It's crisp.
All right.
I feel like I'm on a radio station.
I know, kind of.
Yeah, you pull it closer.
Okay.
Yeah, or up or whatever
All right,
works.
no, that's good.
Yeah. Okay. Turn the audio off on that. Welcome back.
Hey, it's
Backcountry
good to be back.
BSing.
Yeah, David.
You're like I was just here.
You're a repeat offender now.
You guys can't get enough of me.
You're a regular guest.
Oh, that's awesome.
Welcome back to another episode of Backcountry BSing. We have one of our favorite people ever back in the studio.
I can't believe that we get to have a number 2.
I know, and so there's very few people who have done 2 of these, and you've now joined the club.
It helped that you dragged me out in the woods to
Yeah,
freeze my
so,
butt off. This happened to be right on the way back.
To give people a little heads up of what just happened, we just came back fresh from the Ohio YouTube meetup, second annual, and Mr. Gray was nice enough to come hang out with the Ohio YouTube
in the
crew.
Frozen tundra of central Ohio.
And so we decided while we had him here in the great state of Ohio, if we could get him into the studio and do one of these.
We got you in the studio.
I know.
Yeah, the studio.
Well, it's the technology, man. I love the technology.
Yeah. So thank you for coming and stopping by, and big thanks for coming to the meetup. I think a lot of people were pretty stoked to have you there.
It was special.
You were number 1 celebrity there.
You were definitely number 1 celebrity there.
Yeah, it was special. It was a good night.
It was super fun. What did you think of Mohegan? Pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a beautiful
Yeah.
place. I've done a couple backpacking trips in Ohio, but down in southeastern Ohio, but it was really special. I got to come back.
Yeah.
Another trip.
Yeah, it's a cool area.
Yeah.
I don't know how it got pegged to be the YouTube meetup place.
I do. It's central in Ohio.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people in northern Ohio. Yeah.
It's a huge site.
It's got a huge
Huge
site, and it's relatively close to the parking lot, so it's easy.
Oh yeah, it's basically
Yeah.
car
Well,
camping.
it's
like a frat party.
Yeah.
You
know, we warned people. We warned
You
people
guys
in
hurt me.
advance. What were you expecting? Was that what you were expecting?
I didn't think there'd be that many people there.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
of the cold.
Yeah.
I thought it would scare a few people.
I'm not
away.
gonna lie.
It almost scared me away.
Yeah. I thought there'd be less people.
I thought
too.
there'd be less people.
Yeah, well, there was probably 50 people or so.
There were a lot of people.
Was that the coldest you've camped?
Close. Yeah,
Close.
I've had some really cold nights before on some of the trips out in the mountains, but in the summertime when it gets cold down in the 30s, it feels like the teens. But last night it was the teens.
I was actually trying to figure out. I usually have my watch going like at night. I don't know actually how cold it got. The forecast was 21.
Okay.
And it was certainly at least that cold, if not colder.
Yeah.
Well, I've never had it where, like this morning, I saw it in your hammock too, where there's frost all over the inside, and I tapped, and it looked like it was snowing. Yeah. Never had that before.
Yeah, that was the condensation that froze.
Yeah.
And
yeah, that was pretty cool.
Isn't that cool?
yeah,
it was really cold actually.
And so I feel lucky though, because I had my regular 20-degree quilt, and then I brought the Costco down quilt, and I had that on top of it, and so all of that stuff condensed on the.
I did the same thing.
so
There was a
cool.
lot of people
what
with
was
the
your
Costco.
setup? What was your
Same? I had a
sleeping setup?
20-degree Z-Packs bag.
Okay.
Which is the coldest I've ever done last night. And then I had the Costco quilt on top of it, which kept all the moisture off the bag and kept the bag dry. It worked really well.
And you were on an Xtherm, right?
Yeah, an Xtherm. So.
And you were toasty warm.
And like
the whole
3
night?
layers. Oh yeah, I didn't get cold. I had like 3 or 4 layers of clothes on.
Yeah,
Oh,
that helped that I brought
nice.
like every article of clothing
That's what
that I
we
owned.
did.
I
Yeah.
had my complete down suit on, and I was comfortable.
Like the Stay Puft Marshall.
Right, I was comfortable.
Yeah, that's how you got to do it.
I gotta look those up.
That's how you got to do it. It's winter backpacking for us. It's taken a lot of like learning and a lot of like being really cold to figure out what works for us.
Yeah.
And we just need full down suits. I mean, when you're at camp like that and like you're just hanging out and not moving, we need to be like layered in feathers effectively.
Well, it was fine when we were around the fire. You know,
Yeah.
it was perfectly. And then you walk 5 feet away from it, and it's like 30 degrees colder.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Did you got the winter backpacking bug now?
No, I do not.
Is there something that you wish you would have had that you didn't have?
my buff that I lost.
Oh, dude, we do.
Never
That's
found my
iconic.
buff. Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
never found my green buff.
Somebody is gonna find that and they don't know. the treasure that they found. They found
It had all the little holes in it worn out over time, so I lost my green buff.
That must have been in the campsite somewhere.
It had to be, because I wore it down to where we set up our tents, and I think it just fell off my head, and I didn't notice.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
And then it blends in with everything else that's there, and you can't see it.
Yeah, I'm surprised we didn't see it this morning. I was looking for it.
I thought it might be under my tent, but it wasn't.
It might be like packed into your stuff somewhere, maybe.
I hope so.
You know?
I have another one, but that one was special. That one goes all the way back to the beginning.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so heads up to anybody who's
site number 3.
Say 3.
Yeah.
Looking for a green buff.
Yeah. That was pretty fun last night, though.
So how did you feel being around like a large group of people that are like really big fans of your videos?
It's a little, I mean, I loved it. Loved it. I love talking with people about it, and answering questions and all that. But it's, I'm kind of a normal guy.
Yeah.
and when all these people are coming up to me and saying, great to meet you, find it just a little bit weird, but I loved it.
Yeah.
I did.
There's some really inspirational stories too that I heard somebody talking to you of, like, you by watching your videos, it got me outdoors, it got me into backpacking. Yeah. I heard a couple of those stories.
That's the special stuff. Is I do it to put it out there for entertainment and for knowledge for people who want to do the same trips. But then when it goes a level deeper, where it's actually helping somebody out through some rough times, man, that's where it really hits home.
That was cool to see that last night. It was cool. We haven't talked about our awards.
Oh yeah,
I forgot to get my award.
That was a surprise.
There'll be some video of it, but there was an awards ceremony last night.
The Trail Grammys.
The Trail Grammys.
What were
the Trammies? The Trammies.
Okay, yeah. Trammies.
The Trammies, not trannies. Trammies.
Yeah, we were working.
And Mr. Gray won Backpacker of the Year.
Yeah,
that was something.
So
while I'm
congratulations.
videoing the whole
you
thing,
were
like, okay, now what do I do? That should look good on the video when it gets out there.
That was good.
Neat.
That was neat. And you won a nice little bottle of scotch there.
Yeah.
Shout out to
All Things Outdoors.
Oh yeah, that was really special.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I forget what we actually won. The actual nomenclature of the award.
Well, we got a bottle.
But
that's because we worked our way through the other award with the tequila.
I know. Oh, that's right. Backpacking with Jason won.
That's right.
He won first. That's right. I forgot about that. He
went right into his prize.
Yeah.
And shared with all of us. So
that was cool. Yeah, we've never done an awards ceremony at the meetup.
No, that's a first.
That's a first.
Yeah.
That's
a tradition that we'll keep.
Now
going.
we'll have to keep doing that. You know?
That was neat.
The 2019 Trammies. Very, very cool stuff. And it was cool to see there were a lot of channels there last night.
Yeah.
There were a lot of channels.
Well, that was a crazy thing, is 30 people videotaping at the same time.
Isn't it kind of cool though?
Wow, this is wild.
It's like you don't have to feel weird about busting out the video camera there.
No awkwardness there when you got a camera.
No, it was very cool. And it's cool. It's cool, like we were talking about this setup. It's cool to see other people's like video setups.
Yeah.
In addition to their tent setups, that's the cool thing about meetups is not only do you see all the cool camping gear, and there are probably 7 duplex tents there last night.
There was more than 7.
But you get to see everybody's video setups, which is also
and
very
they're
cool.
all different.
They're all different.
The thing that surprised me is everybody's got something different.
They're all
different microphones, but it's the one place I've ever been where everybody's going to know what a dead kitty is.
Yeah.
People come up to me so many times and go, "What's that furry thing on top of your camera?"
It's a dead cat.
Everybody knew
Yeah.
That's right. That was funny.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
So have you thought much about the 2020 season? Any highlights?
No.
Yeah.
The one thing we have talked about is Travis kind of felt like he was left out for the Wind River Range trip.
Yeah.
That's his favorite place. So we've already started talking about heading back again.
Oh,
with
well,
Travis.
Can't go wrong there.
Yeah.
Take another shot at it with him and Carl. But besides that, I'll do something in the spring. I try to get out on the AT.
Oh, yeah.
Do a little chunk of the AT if it works out, and then maybe something in August in Colorado with my son, and then I'll put in the normal permit applications for Glacier, the Wonderland.
I was gonna
Trail,
say, you're gonna try it,
everything, and see if I can pop something there.
Yeah.
Got shut out last year.
So so will you go into hibernation now until?
No, I'm gonna start doing some. I've wanted to start doing some normal videos like gear reviews.
Okay, awesome.
Tutorials, and the one I really want to do is I'm gonna call it like the story behind the picture.
Oh, yeah. You were
I got
talking about that last time.
Some of my favorite pictures. I've got metal prints hanging over all over the house.
Oh,
and what I want to
nice.
do is kind of a series where I talk about, because a lot of those have a really good story behind them, and most of them I actually have video of when I took the picture itself, which is pretty cool. And then actually go into the technical at the end, on the computer, actually putting the picture together.
Oh, cool.
So I thought that'd be kind of neat.
Are you going to go into like how you edit the photos?
Yeah.
I am personally.
So the whole thing,
cannot wait for that.
So you have a little bit of a shot out in the field when I took the shot, and then a little bit I'll talk about the background, what the scene was, and the setting, because a lot of those were some pretty special trips. Too.
Yeah.
And then I'll have the picture hanging right behind me, so I'm gonna do some kind of a standard setup like that. So
awesome.
Give that a shot.
Your photos are great, and I want to see how you like technically edit them.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting more into that. So I can't wait. Yeah. I think your entire fan base is going to be pumped to see some more videos from you.
Absolutely. I found myself a little more time on my hands.
Yeah. What have you thought about other than that? Have you thought about any other types of videos you're going to do?
No, I've actually, one of the things I've wanted to do is a series called Road Trip USA.
Oh, okay.
Because the whole road trip aspect of the backpacking stuff, I think some people kind of get into that, but do like a Route 66 one or Monument Valley.
And when you go on your trips, like you do legit research and like cool like places to stop and food to eat. So that's a part of the adventure that
part of the David Gray experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, some people want me to just get right into the backpacking part, but I kind of like laying out.
You do what you want.
So,
are you going to review any gear?
Yeah, I'll do some gear reviews. There's a few. My my air shed jacket.
Nice.
They're like 5-minute kind of things, but a few of the gear that I like, and just kind of laid out for other people too.
Okay, so David Gray, the channel is going to be blowing up here.
Well, it's all talk right now, right? Until you start doing it.
We both have the air sheds as well.
Yeah, they're nice.
They're super nice.
Yeah,
very nice. I wish they would make
a hooded one,
more stuff out of that material. You know, like a hooded one. Or something, or like a full zip, maybe.
No, I would just. They need to take that air shed and just put a version with a hood on it.
Yeah,
and that would be awesome.
So if Patagonia is watching this,
3 sales.
You got I would be one for sure. No, that's such a nice jacket because it weighs basically nothing. I think
and it's
a couple ounces.
It's like this big if you like mash it up in your pack.
And for what it does, we're just in chilly, windy weather.
Yeah,
holds in some body heat. It might be my favorite piece of gear.
That's what I wear like on trips.
It's so warm for how light it is.
Yeah.
It's the one thing that always surprises me about it. It's freaking incredible.
Yeah.
When are you looking at getting on the AT? Like when do you now? So winter's open. When winter's done. When are you starting to itch to get back out there?
March. I did a March or April.
Okay.
Usually March if we get some warm weather and a trip comes together. Last year in 2019 I did Savage Gulf with Carl.
Oh, right.
It just happened to come together at a nice time. The AT I typically try to time it for whatever section they're at with maximum through hikers. I like the whole interaction and talking with them and all that. So I try to find if you think about when they take off mid-March, the beginning of April, and then you just time it when they would be in a certain section. It's usually when I pop it.
Have you thought about where on the AT you're going to go?
I've thought about going right to Springer Mountain.
Oh, nice.
I've always wanted to do that when they're kicking off and talking to them when they're starting to head out on their dream.
They get to start their journey with an interaction with David Gray.
Yeah.
Well, and I get to interact with them too.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool.
That's actually quite interesting because you can kind of get to you'll get to see the experience of like first time stepping on it and clean clothes and fresh gear.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And the stars in their eyes and they're thinking about what they've got.
Right.
No, it's a long drive.
Yeah.
How far is that from you?
Like 8 hours probably. So it's a healthy hike to get there.
You could, but that's cool. You could see them as they're starting the journey of a lifetime.
Yeah,
that's very cool. So then next year, are you going to go to Baxter State Park in Maine and then see them when they
I
finish?
would like to get, that would actually be pretty cool. Do it in the same season.
Yeah. Right.
And maybe run into some of them along the way. Cool. That would be pretty cool.
Very cool. Yeah, we always talk about doing something like that, like setting up. Maybe this will be the year, like just setting up and like maybe not even backpacking, but just doing trail magic somewhere.
Yeah. Well, actually, Carl, I did some hiking with Carl last year, and that's what he wants to do. He wanted to do a chunk of AT and then actually spend a couple days doing trail magic.
That would be cool.
Really
always
cool.
talked about doing
set up
that.
like a nice car camp setup.
Yeah.
And just
We've
like
always talked about doing
know,
that.
we
It'd be
always-
super
Well, it's
fun.
special when you run into it,
Yeah.
when you're there, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden you come to some road crossing and some guy.
Yeah.
I remember I was in the middle of the woods somewhere, and there was a Forest Service road. There's a car parked there, and the guy's handing out coffee. And,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just special.
Yeah, we were in Grayson Highlands this year. That was the first time I'd actually seen thru hikers,
Okay.
and we saw a lot of them.
that's the first time you ever seen a thru hiker.
I think so,
Okay,
right?
yeah, for you,
For
Yeah,
me?
yeah.
Maybe I've seen them and not know it because now they wear the red tag on the pack.
Yeah.
I don't know how
Oh, they
long.
do? I
Yeah,
didn't
so
know.
there's a
I've never seen it.
specific like it looks like the AT symbol,
Yeah.
and it's red, and it's like I don't know if it's I don't think it's their permit or something.
And, well,
But I think they have to. I think thru hikers are supposed to.
yeah, you
It's on their pack.
You
Okay.
register.
Okay.
So you can tell, like you can tell which ones are thru hiking it specifically. And we were in Grayson Highlands, and it was late May, so pretty late, and
Yeah.
we saw tons of them coming through.
We got recognized by
By a thru hiker.
That's cool.
Yeah. We're like, hey man, you're the one out. You're the special one out here doing the work. You know, we're just YouTubers. I'm like, you're
Yeah.
hiking from freaking Georgia to Maine.
So I've been doing a good job of not paying attention to the chat, but there is somebody posted a question in there that I thought was really good, and I think it's worth asking.
Okay.
People are actually watching this.
Yeah, they sure are.
All right, yeah, this is Sunday brunch with David Gray.
Yeah.
Sunday morning with the Shill brothers.
Yes.
So, here we go. Sunday brunch.
Dunkin'
With
Donuts
David.
coffee.
Dunkin' Donuts coffee.
Great.
I'd say, I didn't have Dunkin' Donuts
Great,
this morning.
great morning here in the Shill House. Day 2.
Day 2, Dunkin' Donuts. And
Here-
day 2,
here
We're
in the
drinking
Shill
McDonald's
House.
coffee.
Yeah.
McCafe coffee.
So here's the question. It's from the name is C Crump. It says, question for David: which of his videos does he think is his best work? My favorite is this year's Yellowstone trip.
Yellowstone was good. Boy, that's a tough one. I mean, one of the ones I really enjoy is the Sierra Nevada trip.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just, partly because how can you screw that up when you
Yeah.
got it? But last year's glacier trip was one of the ones that are really special
Yeah.
to me, just because of the way that trip turned out. And then the winds trip from this year,
The winds was
from just
beautiful.
a quality
Yeah,
standpoint, I
so
thought was
beautiful.
And we definitely wanted to talk to you about
I know
that trip
we want to get into
because
the trip.
when we talked to you last, you were just preparing to go.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we got to. I mean, just how picturesque it comes out on
So
your video
pretty.
is unbelievable.
Yeah, I finally got that Z6 starting to get dialed in. So it took all year, but I think
Yeah.
I'm getting to where I know what to do
Yeah.
with it.
No, and I'm excited to see. Like I keep telling you, your new lens. I'm excited to see the footage from this trip
I am
because
too. I haven't seen any of it myself. Yeah,
it should be.
yeah. Just
real
just
good.
for everybody, I got a 24 millimeter lens, which is the ideal one that I want for the focal length. But this was the first trip. Haven't even looked at any of the footage from it yet.
Are you itching to go?
Yeah, I am.
I need to talk
talk
some
with you
good
guys first.
shots. You got
Yeah,
some
I think
good
I got
shots.
some really good stuff.
Especially this morning too, coming up out of there. I thought that was
Yeah, with
really
that sun
pretty.
coming. Yeah, that was beautiful.
the
And you
layer of
guys,
frost.
walked right through it.
Oh, nice.
That was a shot. So I had the sun in the
am-
background, and then you guys going up the hill.
Well, this
walking
be the
right there.
first. This will be the first time we get to be on a David Gray video.
It's true. Yeah.
I'm so excited to be in a David Gray production.
Yes.
You have no idea.
Yeah.
Like this is like a bucket list item Andy and I have achieved. It's like, oh my God, we get to be in a David Gray video. I'm pretty
Well,
stoked
we got to
about
do a
that.
trip together.
I know. We have to do an actual backpack.
yeah.
Although that technically counts.
Yeah, I guess it counts. Overnight, you're carrying a pack. Yeah.
Where do you think the ideal trip for us would be?
Glacier probably.
No, and it would.
think
I
you
would.
guys-
Yeah.
We'd have to. Yeah, you'd have to
We-
show us
we would need a
around.
tour
Yeah,
guide.
I
You'd
would
have to
love
show
to
us
do that.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to do that.
Yeah. We'll have to put that on the books.
Can I hammock camp effectively in Glacier?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. We thought of. I mean, we've always taken a hammock just for kind of recreational stuff.
Yeah,
Never
right.
had any
Yeah, you
trouble
usually
setting
do.
it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will gladly sleep on the ground for an awesome location. So
Yeah. Yeah. That place
Get
looks
me a
incredible.
duplex.
Yeah. Oh man, that's funny. That's funny.
everybody else has one.
Yeah. We're starting to trying to put together like our trip itinerary for this year, trying to figure out what we're gonna do. I mean, we don't other than going to Tahoe again. We don't really have anything.
Well, when are you guys planning on doing that? Oh, yeah, you told me right
Yeah.
end of August.
So-
Yeah.
Yeah,
if you can weasel your way, I mean, we would love to have you come out there with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the window of backpacking in the Sierra and Northern California.
it's
It's
like
so
4 weeks.
small. It's like
1 month.
Literally, it is.
1 month. August. Basically.
Yeah.
You can avoid the bugs. The snowpack is down where you can see the trail.
Yeah, and of course, there's so many people out there because there's only like a month.
Yeah.
But that's the only limitation to going out there is it's literally 1 month.
Yeah.
So you gotta like fit it in. But we found regardless of where you go out west, we found that last week of August, right before Labor Day, seems to be like ideal conditions.
Oh yeah.
You know,
and it turns fast too.
it turns.
That's what I learned.
I mean, it's like 30 degrees at night out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can get lucky a little later in the year, but you can also get not lucky.
Yeah. And in Colorado, it was good. When I was out in Tahoe, I mean, there was still snow in places, and there were places there where roads were blocked off up until like a month before I was out there. So like they go through July out there with like roads being blocked off with snowpack.
Yeah.
And they had a pretty high year. I think the Sierras had a pretty high snowpack year in relation. So like I didn't realize like how condensed, other than skiing, the outdoor recreating is out there. I mean, because there's just so much snow.
Yeah, you got to get into like snowshoeing and cross country skiing.
Yeah. So this is a funny story. Backpacking with Jason was telling me at the meetup when he went out to Colorado, they went out in July, and they went to the Lost Creek Wilderness, and he said I think they were REI or something. They're like, "You guys got snowshoes?" And he's like, "No."
Yeah, this year, man, the snow was crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like we've been in a situation like that too.
No, so we were. I was telling you this story this past week. So, have you done Laurel Highlands?
No.
Okay.
I haven't.
So, have you seen that they have shelters there? And a popular thing to do in the winter is people tarp off the shelters and run the fire inside. And so we were looking to do that. But the thing about Laurel Highlands is it's there's no loop. It's only
Just
out back, or you got a shuttle. So we've been there before, and there's a shuttle service we use, and this was literally this past January, and we called them. There we go. We're like, we've used you guys before. We're looking to do like a winter overnight in Laurel Highlands. We just need you to drive us out to whatever. Can you guys do it? And they're like, we can, but literally every single person we've driven out there had to be emergency evac.
And we don't want to do that one more time.
So they're like,
you guys.
So they're like, please just don't.
So where is that?
It's southwest of Pittsburgh.
Okay.
In an area called Ohio Pile. It's literally almost straight east of here.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's about 3.5 hours.
It's a 70-mile long trail. And then it's got like designated camping areas, and then you can rent shelters that have fireplaces.
Okay.
And
it's like primitive shelter, kind of 18. And then the best part,
unlimited firewood.
They cut firewood for you.
Oh man.
Process it.
That's
Yeah.
almost like
And water. They have water.
And privies.
that's
Yeah.
nice.
And
Very
privies.
nice.
It's $5 a night. I mean,
And you can reserve it in advance.
reserve it in
Okay.
advance. Yeah.
Or you
like
can just
that.
camp,
Yeah.
It's a really good spot to take. I've taken my wife there to take people that maybe are just dipping their toes in backpacking. Because it's kind of weird because the shelters are open, but it's a shelter. You don't have to bring a tent.
Yeah,
you got a
that's nice.
fireplace, and they make it really easy to like. They have cooking grates on all the fireplaces and stuff. So it's a good place to take somebody.
It's
I'll
a tough trail though.
It's a tough trail though. It is hilly, rocky. It's not like super easy hiking.
So you guys did the whole thing?
We've sectioned it
Okay.
effectively. Yeah.
Well, we did like a chunk of
We did
like
a chunk of
50
miles.
50, and then I've over the years done the rest of it.
Cool.
But recommend it. I mean, it's
I'll
it'd
check
be
it out.
probably like 6 or 7 hours from you.
Yeah, I'll check it out though.
It's a fun trail. You can park in Ohio Pile, which is a cool little outdoorsy town, and then they'll shuttle you to the end, and then you would love this. So when you finish the trail, you walk into Ohio Pile, and the trail literally goes in front of like a beer and burger joint.
Like it ends at like a really well like burger beer bar place where they have like a fire pit and they're doing fresh barbecue and stuff.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people
Nice.
will time it so they walk into that, and you can park for free right there too. So it actually works out really
I'll
well.
check it out.
It's pretty sweet. It's a very good time.
Yeah.
I recommend it.
Yeah. Yeah, so maybe like a January or February overnight, David.
Late February, middle of March.
Would you do February?
I might do February. Yeah.
You know,
If
like
the weather was warmed up a little bit.
lows like 35 maybe, you know,
I would do that.
Yeah.
right before all the bugs come out.
Yeah,
you know,
I would probably do that.
See, you're liking this winter.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think anything's going to be as cold as it was last night.
Yeah,
so
it was.
The bar was set.
It was. I remember I was like, I woke up. I was like, I need some water. I gotta drink some water, and I like my water was in my Ridgeline thing, and it was just it was frozen.
Yeah, it was cold.
So I like got it and like knocked it around and put it in my sleeping bag so it would thaw, and I was like, oh my god. That's when I realized I was like, okay, it got cold last night.
It got cold.
And I had to sleep. I don't know how you guys feel about this, but I can't, like, if it's really cold, like I have to have either something over my face.
Oh yeah.
Or I have to be like cocoon.
That's what I do.
I go completely
I buried
under.
inside.
Yeah. So do you guys
and just a little hole for the
like a snorkel?
Yeah, I did that last night.
So that's what I have to do too.
It was cold.
Because sometimes I'll forget and I'll wake up and like my nose is numb, my whole face is numb. I'm like, okay. So that's why that's what's nice about having the second top quilt. So I was in a sleeping bag too in my hammock, and then I had the 30-degree quilt just over like my top half and then like cocooning my whole face.
Yeah, nice.
Nice. It's like that's just and I don't know if you guys noticed how bright the moon was.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yeah.
And I kept thinking about that story you were telling us last time you were here.
I thought about that too with the guy when you think it's like somebody with a
'Cause
flashlight.
it-
That's exactly
it
what
was
it looked like.
so bright, and I was like, are there's like helicopters out there or something? And then I was like, oh my god, it's the moon. And I didn't have my tarp up or anything, so like it's just like blasting into my face.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I thought about that time you were telling us. I think was that John Muir?
No, that was it was Sierra Nevada.
Yeah,
that was
where you thought it was
Lake.
somebody.
Yeah,
But it was just the freaking moon.
Yeah, it
and
was
then
bad.
I watched the moon like as it crested. It was actually really cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So another good question that somebody asked was any bucket list trips that you want to do?
John Muir Trail.
John Muir
for
Trail.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean probably the most attainable one, and I actually got a John Muir Trail permit this year.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
decided not to
yeah.
use it because it wasn't. I learned a lot about the permit process and all the different starting locations, and I definitely got a non-ideal one that would have
That's what you're
bypassed
saying.
all
Yeah.
of Yosemite.
Yeah.
So I'll put in for that again for one of the better locations.
Yeah.
And then the AT, I'd love to through hike. The long trails, but that's a little.
Yeah.
That's a little more of a commitment.
Yeah. What's your so out west is awesome. What about the Midwest? Like, is there anything other than the AT? Is there anything left in the South of the Midwest, or like
what's a good recommendation?
Yeah.
Well, there's some down in I can't even remember what Sky the Chin. Oh, I can't even. Carl would know, but it's a trail down in Pin Chin Sky Trail.
Oh, I've never heard
it's
of it.
It's a loop down in Alabama that I wanted to do.
Okay.
It connects 3 different trails. It's probably about 30 miles. One of the neat areas down there.
Yeah.
There's a trail in southern Indiana called the Adventure Hiking Trail.
Oh, that's in
west
your
of Louisville.
neck of the woods.
Yeah, it's about a 25-mile loop that I'd like to do. And then the Knobstone Trail.
Yeah, that's right. You were talking
which
about
is
that.
really nice. I'd like to get back to there. I haven't been there in probably 5 or 6 years, 7 years.
Do you get up to Michigan a lot?
I do not.
I was gonna say I don't think you have any videos there. Right.
There's the what is it? There's the loop trail kind of in the southwestern.
Yeah,
area.
the Manistee River Trail.
Yeah, I wanted to do that. There was somebody at work that wanted to do that with me.
Okay.
And then I definitely want to get up to Pictured Rocks.
I was just gonna say you
Rocks.
and your photography.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We talked about doing that one with Dan Becker.
Oh yeah. He's done Pictured Rocks.
We're still trying to line up a trip together.
Yeah. If you do that, you got to do
take
low
the
mileage,
best pictures.
low mileage, because there's so many good opportunities.
Yeah.
That
Well,
trail.
actually, and I had that. It looked like the glacier trip last year wasn't going to happen because of all the forest fires out there. So I actually had a trip completely planned for Pictured Rocks and bailed at the last minute.
Okay.
Because it looked like I'd be able to do the glacier thing.
Were you going to do the whole
thing? I had a shuttle ride all lined up, and hotel, everything. It was all planned, and then I canceled it. So.
That's a great trail because it's flat.
It's so flat, and it's all on like pine.
Yeah.
It's so
No, it looks just beautiful.
We hit it with
non-stop views.
We hit it
non-stop views.
We hit peak bug season.
Oh my God!
But we
bad up there.
But we
my
joked.
God.
We were like, these bugs are bad, but it's still not as bad as your wind strip.
That wind strip set the bar for everybody.
That was my first experience with like bad bugs.
Was it black flies?
Yeah.
Oh, those are awful.
Yeah.
I'd take mosquitoes over there.
It was both.
and we actually did a lot of beach hiking because the trails were I mean, you had to fly on the trails.
Otherwise,
the second you stop
in the woods.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So there was a bunch of sections where we could just do like long beach hikes.
Get on the beach.
But that's rough hiking too.
Yeah.
Was it like loose sand? Or,
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But it was like, this is better than getting chewed alive.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And then we would like, there's designated camping areas. So we would in the morning get up, just pack everything up as quickly as possible, and then go to the beach.
Get out there.
And eat
when
breakfast.
did you guys do that? What time was it?
4th of July.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, that would be peak time.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah, the snow just melted like a week before up there, right?
and we knew
He's
that.
like, that would suck for bugs. And it did.
Yeah.
It did. And that was my first time with black flies.
Yeah, I don't like black
They
flies.
hurt.
Yeah.
They hurt.
They're mean.
Yeah.
And I remember, the first night I woke up and I don't know what the insect was. They weren't biting. Do you remember this? But it was like 2 a.m. and I had my headlamp just shining out and it was a sea.
Yeah.
But they weren't biting. They were tiny. Like, I don't know what they were. Do you know what I'm talking about? And then I
like
unzipped
midges.
my tent and
Midges. I think, yeah.
they came in.
Ugh.
But they were like all at the
They weren't
top. So
bothered,
they weren't
yeah.
bothering me, but I was like, wait, what? I was like, is this one of the pestilences? Like one of the plagues? It was literally like a sea of insects. It was bizarre. I've never seen. And he had to get out because it rained that night. He had to get out and put his tarp up.
That was the first. So we never put our tarps up ever, and it was kind of like questionable.
Yeah.
And so they're like, don't gamble it. I'm like, I'm gambling it. And then it started raining in the middle of the night. I was like,
Lost
crap.
that bet, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one and only time
That's the one and only time is we were wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I was in my tent that night and I heard you guys getting out there. I was like, oh God.
Sam and I did.
Oh God, the bugs. Oh my God.
Yeah. You had to turn your light on really quick.
Yeah.
And then turn it off.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they would just swarm you. Oh my
man.
God. And I was like, yeah. The whole time we're like, this is great. Don't ever come here during this time. It's like, Picture Rock is great. Come in August.
Yeah.
That would be a great place when the leaves are changing.
That'd
too.
be awesome fall trip.
Yeah, September would be great.
Right,
up there.
right.
And I have a pretty good fear of heights, and that there was a couple places on that trail where.
cliffs.
And did you see what happened there this year?
No.
So one of the cliff faces where the trail is
Came off
into the water, and a kayaker got it on camera.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And I was just like, well, if you were on that trail, you just died.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
The wrong place at the wrong time.
Because it's where it goes on the coast, it's sand based. You know, so from erosion, it could just come right down. And I remember seeing that a couple months after we were there, and I was like, oh my God, that's terrifying.
Yep. Yeah.
Worth it though. You get some great views on the way down.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to the UP at all?
Yeah, I've been up to
Okay.
the UP.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful up there.
Yeah.
I've been in that actual area on car trips, but I've never
Just never
backpacked.
backpacked.
No, I never hiked up there.
Yeah, we've driven through it to get up to Isle Royale, and we've been there to do Pictured Rocks. And every time I go through it, I'm like, man, this is a beautiful area.
Yeah, it's
And
wilderness.
It's
Yeah.
wilderness.
It
It
is
is
wilderness.
It is
Not many
wild
people
up there.
Yeah.
And it's like weird because it's only, and I don't know how far. It's only 7 or 8 hours from us.
Probably about the same for me.
So it's not, in the grand scheme of things, it's not that far. But you get up there and it's desolate.
Yeah.
And we had to drive, when we went to Isle Royale, we drove up through where Pictured Rocks is, and then went up the UP to the tip,
Okay.
the little tip.
Keweenaw Peninsula.
The Key,
Keweenaw,
yes,
yeah.
yeah. And that just feels like you're in Canada.
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of effectively are.
Yeah, they get some snow up there.
Yeah. And they got moose.
Yeah.
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 Beautiful.
We should have gone to Michigan Tech.
Michigan what?
Remember Michigan Tech University?
Oh, yeah. There's
No, we played them when I went to college in Michigan, and we played
you did?
Michigan Tech.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I actually played Michigan Tech in the Silver Dome.
Oh,
We
and
did 2
in
games
Detroit?
the Pontiac Silver Dome, yeah.
Nice.
I was a kicker. I kicked 2 field goals.
You're a kicker?
Wow, really?
Really?
Like
What's
you guys didn't know that, did you?
What's your longest field goal?
46 yards.
Wow.
That's impressive.
Yeah, I did it. I did actually twice in high school and twice in college. Never kicked one. They wouldn't kick anything longer than that, really, in the college that I went to.
Why didn't you try it for the Colts?
No, I was a toe basher. I was the last of the toe
really?
basher. Yeah. So I was in that era when it was all. I was the last of my kind.
Just toe
right?
blow it?
Yeah. Yeah. So no, that was a short career.
Judging by how big you are, I would not have guessed that you were a kicker.
Yeah,
literally the last football.
I was
position,
thinking linebacker.
Linebacker.
Well, I was a
or tight end.
defensive end in high school.
Yeah,
and then I got into college and realized life expectancy was
Smart.
You were
That's
smart.
heads up play. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
a good move.
well, and I was better I got recruited as a kicker.
Okay.
and a punter. So
longest punt.
78 yards.
Ooh,
wow.
Yeah, against Mount Union.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, my college was a Division III school, and every year Mount Union won the national championship. But we played them one year, and that was my claim to fame: a 78-yard punt.
That's awesome.
Man, you could have just had a career in special teams.
Well, the problem is I could launch a 78-yarder, and then I could launch a -2 yarder the next time. I wasn't real consistent.
Oh, that's pretty
It's
funny.
a problem.
That is funny.
So here's a good question that came up in the chat. What do you do to help get in shape for your trips?
That's a good question. I work out a lot because I'm not as young as I used to be, like you guys, or most of the people that we met on this trip this weekend. But I work out every day in a gym.
Oh, every day,
wow.
nice.
Every
Good.
single day.
Good.
I do like a stationary bike and then a treadmill.
Awesome.
And then I've started this time of year. I start doing spin classes.
Oh, nice.
Biking
Oh.
spin classes pretty much every day. And then every day I take the dogs for a 3-mile hike.
Oh, so wait,
You-
you get a ton of exercise.
Yeah. It turns out you're very in shape.
Well, I don't know about that. That's just I have to do all that just to break even.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
at my
that's good
age, so-
though. Do you? I'm assuming like when you go backpacking, you feel that, like you feel that fitness from working out.
I mean,
Well, it
you
helps.
climbed good today.
Yeah,
You did. Yeah, you got up
helps.
there.
Well, it just, for me, because everything's starting to hurt more than it used to.
Yeah.
That's just, especially when you do a big trip and especially when you do something out west, it just helps.
Yes.
Keep the injury away.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say that's really the biggest fear I have is you get some of these places, especially if you're by yourself,
Yeah.
and you get injured, and it can become a bad situation in a hurry. So
like that story you told us about that dude who got
Yeah.
pinned.
What
was
a
that? guy?
Dysa Lake too.
Did you?
No, you're talking the Jim Turner story in the winds.
Did you find
That
that
was-
spot?
No, I was on the other side. It's on the other side of the ridge, the mountains from Island Lake.
Oh, okay.
But as we were sitting there at Island Lake, I was thinking about it.
Yeah.
Because it's some pretty rough terrain.
Don't stand on top of the boulders.
To be on the other
Bring
side.
your in reach, kids.
Yeah, no kidding. That's the lesson there.
Yeah.
So the question made me think of, okay, so do you have now, the opposite of what's your training like for backpacking? What's your recovery protocols now?
Pretty much just take some time off.
But like, let's say after a day of hiking.
Oh, when we're actually out
Yeah.
on the trail, it's Endurox R4 and Advil.
That's right. Okay.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Durox R4 is a really good recovery drink with like the right ratio of
Okay.
protein and carbohydrates and all that. So it's really kind of what your muscles are looking for, and then just more Advil than I should probably take.
Do you notice that taking that stuff makes like a marked difference?
Oh, it's huge.
Really?
Yeah, it's huge for me, and I've actually noticed it. I've been just started getting back into spin classes, so I take it after a spin class,
nice.
and because I was trying to do them every single day, and I noticed if I didn't do that, the next day you're just dragging.
Okay.
It really helps to make a difference.
Nice.
We should go to Indiana and do some spin classes.
Our recovery protocol is bourbon and ibuprofen.
Well, throw that in there too.
Maybe
that is true.
classes.
Yeah. There's a little of that.
we should do a live BSing, and we'll get 3 stationary bikes and we'll do it while
Oh
we're
yeah, we could do it. We could do it on the spin bikes.
Yeah, there you go.
Not this morning.
No, not this morning.
Oh man.
I'm still in recovery mode from yesterday, and it wasn't from the hiking.
Yeah.
Yeah, a frat party.
Yeah. Do you see yourself coming back to the YouTube meetups?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
it was a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if it's a little earlier in the year and
Yeah,
a little warmer.
I don't know
but if
why. Why don't we do them?
It's because everybody's trip schedules.
Everyone's
Yeah.
actually backpacking during
Yeah.
those times. So it's like,
and it's just like you can't. You got to go farther into.
Well, and I think
season.
normally
Yeah.
that would be fine. I think the temperatures we had was really pretty unusual.
Yeah,
I don't
it
think
was.
It's normally that cold.
The forecast for this weekend actually improved over the last couple weeks because we were supposed to get like when we looked 2 weeks ago, we were supposed to get 1 to 3 inches of snow up there on Friday, and it was supposed to be like in the teens.
You guys wouldn't have been seeing me.
But and then I looked yesterday morning and I was like, oh, the low's only going to be 21.
Yeah, I think it was a little cold.
And no snow. So I guess that's better.
Yeah, snow would be awful.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know when the best time of the year. So we did one, not a subscriber meetup, but the first one we did was in March.
March wouldn't be so bad.
It was the exact same as it was last night.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you get longer. I don't like the long nights.
Yes, you're right.
March is a big difference between.
Yes.
You know, like what we're doing, it would be the equivalent of mid-January, right? So it's
Yeah.
some pretty long nights.
Yeah, and that was backpacking at this time of the year gives you an appreciation. I mean, it was getting dark at 4 yesterday.
Yeah, it was dark by 5.
It was dark
I mean,
by
you felt
5.
like it was 10 o'clock at night, and it's not even time for dinner yet.
I know.
It's bizarre.
I know. Oh, it sucks. It really does. That might be one of, other than the temperature, that is without doubt the worst part about winter backpacking.
Yeah, it helps when you have. I mean, we were up till almost midnight with the fire, which really helps.
Yeah.
It shortens the night, and it just was really nice being with everybody around the fire.
Yeah,
that was
a good fire.
That was another thing last
fire.
weekend. That's like crucial to winter backpacking success, having a good fire.
Yeah.
We've got a decent amount of people in the chat who were there last night.
Oh, good. Nice.
Hey, everybody.
What happened at Mohican stays at Mohican, okay?
Don't be sharing any of the stories.
Come on. That's hilarious. What are they
So
on their way home?
All Things Outdoors is in there.
Nice.
Lisa's there.
Oh, nice.
Josh is listening to it while he's driving home. So hopefully, Josh, don't get into an accident.
Yeah, be careful.
Yeah. I was like, oh, that's impressive. I was like, I didn't think they get cell service down there, but I guess people are leaving.
Up Trails in the chat.
Nice.
So Bob, he lives in the UP. And he's, making fun of us for talking about
complaining about our winter.
Yeah, they're not going to have any sympathy. 19 degrees. That's like summertime up here.
So, in keeping with traditions of usually these conversations turn to alcohol at some point, there's a good question for you, David, in the chat.
Great.
So, this is Sunday, folks.
Yeah, this is Sunday. What's your favorite campsite happy hour drink?
Buffalo Trace now. Travis turned me on to it.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, I really like Buffalo Trace. I didn't have any yesterday. I didn't have any at home, but
just straight.
Yeah. Typically just in my little titanium cup, my coffee cup.
Okay.
And then your coffee the next morning is
That's
a
right.
nice...
You get a double. You get a double enjoyment.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Although I will say, I used to take tequila. A good tequila, like what we were drinking last night, and kind of having a little sip of it last night reminded me. It's just I kind of like that.
Good tequila is good.
Really smooth.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like a nice little mellow around the fire buzz.
Yeah.
As long as you don't do too much of it.
Yes.
Like last night.
Yes. Last night was fun though. I mean, that was a good time.
It was a great time. No complaints.
Yeah. And it was. I hope we continue this tradition. Restless Outdoors kind of set this up, but I hope we keep doing it.
Yeah. It's nice when somebody else does the work.
He does all the work. And shout out to Bryce for going to get that site on Thursday.
Yeah. Thank you, Bryce. That was awesome.
You see how well that site works out for something like this?
You could put
you could put like 3 times as many people. Yeah.
That's like a limit of 5, right? So
I think somebody
we blew the limit away.
I think somebody last night literally said 6.
Good thing the ranger didn't come by.
The streak continues of not getting busted. I was like, no, 6? I thought it was 10 maybe.
But I get why they put the cap on there, but to be like,
so people like us don't show up.
But I will say the group, I mean, yeah, it's a good time, but everybody's quiet.
We're respectful.
Nobody's going crazy. It's respectful.
Yeah.
Everyone does a good job with leave no trace, and so I mean, if you,
we're not total degenerates.
No,
we try. I don't know. We try. We'll see. Any other questions from the comments?
Yeah. There's a decent amount of stuff in here.
We usually try not to focus on the comments during these, but like, if there's some good ones,
I think it's kind of cool that people get to ask you questions too.
This is a neat concept.
Are you going to be doing some David Gray live streams?
I don't know, man. There's a lot of technology you guys
but
got
you
right
can
here.
do them. You can do them. You can do them with just a laptop.
Yeah.
In a webcam.
What this is from the chat. What's the longest trip you've ever done?
50 miles.
Okay.
Right on. Well, actually, a little over 50 miles. I've done a couple of them the northern, what they call the Great Northern Circle at Glacier is right on 50 miles. And then we did the second glacier trip I did in 2014 was a 50-mile out and back, which you'd think would be kind of weird. It's 25 miles in one direction, turn around and go back. But the views were so completely different that it was like you were on a different trail.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, completely different. And the weather changed. So it was it wasn't, even though it was a long out and back, it worked out great.
What's the most consecutive nights you've done?
5.
Okay.
Done a 5-night trip.
What would be the max you'd want to do?
5.
Really?
Well, I don't know. If I did something like the John Muir Trail, if you can get off or the AT or something, and you getting off and getting breaks and resupplying, I just don't want to carry more supplies than what I would need for a 5-day section.
When we did Colorado, we had to carry 7 days of, and
rough,
it gets technical. Like you have to technically pack your you can't just like put some mountain houses in there and go.
Yeah.
Like you need to we had to bulk. We actually dehydrated a lot of our own food in bulk packaged it, and then also when you're out there for 7 days, trash becomes a consideration.
Yeah.
So you had to pack your food knowing how do you minimize the amount of trash you got to carry out there.
Yeah.
Luckily on Colorado there happened to be trash cans at some of the trailheads.
How much did our food bags weigh too? Were they like 11 or 12 pounds?
More than that, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's like.
Well, and that's such a great feeling when you've got 2 or 3 pounds of trash, and all of a sudden you come upon a trash can. It's like that's one of the greatest feelings in the world.
I know.
I just lost 3 pounds.
Just dump it out.
There was when we were at the second glacier trip I did. There's a goat haunt ranger station, and they had a trash can there, and it was like the greatest feeling ever to offload.
Just offload it. And it's even better. It's even better when you don't know the trash is there.
Yeah.
Trash can.
No, I didn't know it was there.
Oh my god.
You just see it, and it's like, oh my gosh, there's a trash can.
Just say it.
So live question from the live audience.
Hold on, Alex is
Do you have to be quiet?
upstairs.
Oh, no, you're fine. You're good. It's your house.
Yeah, her house, her rules. I do. I have. Never mind. Okay.
I forget.
The beauty of live.
Yeah, I see. This is
You're
what happens
not
live.
editing that out.
People come in. Yeah, it's great. No, it's fun. It adds to it.
Yeah.
How did everyone get home?
Yeah.
Yeah.
These are live, so
Yeah.
yeah.
What did she say?
Feeling.
Huh?
We're fine. Just
What?
yeah. So
Yeah. It's hard to hear her with these on.
Right.
Yeah. We're talking about what? Food distances? I don't know. Trash cans?
Yeah.
See live. Yeah. You know what's going to happen.
But distance, like the trips, I would do more than a 5-day trip, but I just wouldn't really want to unless I had to. So if I usually target 5 days max.
Yeah.
And the last couple of years, the trips have been a little shorter just because of the type of trips I've been taking. But yeah, I've done some 5-day ones.
Nice. Yeah, we've done 7.
Yeah.
And that's long.
That gets to be a long time out on the trail. You start
Yeah.
thinking about wanting to get a shower
and some burgers.
Yeah.
You see,
You can get into the food fantasy
You
stuff.
do though. It's a real thing.
bad.
You get so sick of dehydrated food after like 5 or 6 days, and it's like I just want a freaking burger.
you know, the thing that kind of sucks too when you start getting into 7 days is you sit around every day and you're like, okay, I have to do this many miles today. You get focused just on the miles and you forget like why you're out there.
Yeah.
It's just like I've got to cook it today because I've got to do this many miles.
Yeah.
And then it just becomes it's like, okay, I got to crush these miles so then I can get to camp and just sit around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you see that a lot with through hikers.
Yeah.
When you hang out with the through
Right.
hikers, it's all about the miles
Yeah.
with them. I mean, they're getting up, they're packing their stuff in 5 minutes, they're not eating any breakfast, and they're just pounding the miles day after day after day. It's just like, well, that doesn't sound like much fun.
Yeah. Hey,
but if you're committed to it,
all the ones we talk to say through hiking is a pretty incredible journey.
I would
see
love
that
to do it
for sure.
Well, and you can see it when you talk to them. You can see it in their face. You can just see it in
Yeah.
their whole demeanor. It's
Yeah.
like they're living their dream.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Here's an interesting question that was put in there. Does filming slow it down significantly for you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you do it right, and
Yeah.
you got to think about what you're trying to put together, and you're basically living a story. as you're trying to tell it.
Yeah.
And you don't get a do-over.
Right.
So if there's something that you got to think about everything that's going to be meaningful for that particular trip and try to capture it in some manner. And what that means is a lot of filming that you then sort through later. At least that's the way I do it.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys saw me, yesterday. I'm
You
trying
got a lot of shots too.
trying to capture it, and then in the editing process, you go back and it's like, okay, now I'm going to try to tell the story the way that I remember it.
Yeah.
But if you don't have the footage in the first place, or if something got screwed up, technically in the camera,
right?
Can't tell you how many times I've forgotten to turn the microphone on.
Have you had? We have not
knock
had,
on metal.
We have not had a major trail-based technical issue like a.
Well, the worst ones I haven't had any that completely ruined a trip, and you could definitely do that potentially.
Yeah.
But my camera in the Dolly Sods trip, it was probably 3-4 years ago with Travis, my first trip with Travis, and my camera bit it.
Yeah.
I back then I didn't have the clip system that I had now, and I had this fanny pack that I wore backwards on my stomach. I would put the camera in there, but there wasn't a good way to secure it, and it would fall out. And I can't tell you how many times I dropped that on the ground, and it never was fatal until Dolly Sods. So the very first day I dropped it, there's a bunch of sections there where you're going over rocks, and it hit on the rocks, and it kept working for a little while, but then the record button
remember this
working.
trip.
And Travis, I tried at that time. I had my D810, which will do video, but I had never used it, so I'm trying to figure out on the fly, how to shoot video with this thing unsuccessfully. I mean, if you look at some of those things after my original camera died, it's pretty bad. But then Travis, out of the kindness of his heart, let me use his camera.
Yeah, we went through a spell, never on trips, but there were some of these we filmed, not with this setup, where we would have like 3 or 4 mics going because we just lose mics, or the audio would be trash, or we'd have to stack audio, and it's like we got so paranoid. This, luckily, I'm not worried. This setup is good.
Yeah.
I don't worry about it.
You guys watching this can't hear what's in the earphones, but this is really cool.
Yeah.
It's like professional.
I think it makes the conversation a lot more intimate. I mean, don't you think?
You're right there.
You're right there.
Yeah.
I think it's like, I don't know. It adds to it. It's sweet, right? Yeah. See, we're trying to get better at this. We'll eventually get a camcorder, I think, for live streaming. Because like a DSLR or mirrorless, like we were talking about, there are limitations to that sort of stuff. But it's better than a webcam, It's like
no, it's good.
So
what resolution does this go out
1080.
at? Okay.
Yeah. And that gets into like upload speed, like your internet upload speed can determine that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you're streaming it,
so it's actually pretty technically challenging. Like if people who like upload at like 60 frames or like 4K, I don't know if people even do that. That's like really intensive to do that.
Yeah.
But this is working well. I don't know. We're gonna keep doing it.
Oh yeah,
Whatever.
I love it.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
We're big. Are you a fan of any podcasts in general? Do you listen to podcasts?
No, I want to. I've listened to a few of them, but I have not done that. I really would like to. I've actually thought about doing some podcasts myself.
Well,
if you can get out there and do it, that'd be pretty cool.
Well,
just
say the word. Yeah.
You got something to talk about.
We're obviously big podcast fans, and that like is seen here. We listen and watch them, and we like the ones that do it live, and you can watch them live and kind of see it going.
There are so many of them out there.
So many. But it's kind of obviously inspired this. Yeah.
And I think
getting live text from Annie, who's watching.
Is she watching? Shout out to Annie.
That's Annie right there.
Yeah.
Wow, Dad.
Does Annie get a Becker button?
We need a sound clip. She's the one for bringing us all together, actually.
Yeah.
So we need a sound clip for her. Yeah. I know. I haven't hit the Becker button yet today.
Hit the Becker.
I forget which one it is.
My name is Dan.
No, it's not that one.
Big fat liar.
Yeah, that one.
I love that boy.
I'm gonna get the Dunkin' Donuts coffee.
Yeah, we're gonna steal
it off one of the videos.
Yeah, get to spend our. How long have we been going for?
We've been going for 52 minutes.
Doesn't it go fast? Doesn't it go fast?
Yeah.
I know.
There's people still watching.
Yeah. How many people are in here?
58.
Nice. See,
wow, very cool.
58 people starting their Sundays with us here.
Morning.
Sunday mornings with David.
It's a great podcast name right there.
Sundays with David.
Yeah. Sundays with David. We need some omelets or something. I feel like we should be eating brunch right now. I don't know. I don't know. Anything else in the comments?
No, but Oh wait, here's a good one. Okay. Do you guys ever get any grief from your wives for being gone for so many trips? Do you get grief from your wife, David?
No. That's my official answer.
I like there's
she's probably watching. She might be watching this. Do you
have to bribe her?
Well, what it is,
I do.
It's hard because when I take off, and especially on a trip without the dogs.
I meant to play when you said no.
Because you're a big fat
I
liar.
meant to say
You didn't hit the button fast enough. No, it's just a hardship, when I take off, especially if I'm going solo and leave the dogs at home, then it's just you're counting on him having to do a lot of work that I normally pick up. So no, but she's been real supportive, and I had always thought that she never really had any interest in doing it.
Yeah.
And it came up in a conversation, and I think my dad asked her or something, and she said, "Well, it's because I've never been asked."
Oh.
So I said, "Oh, really?" Well, you have
Sounds like she's coming.
standing invitation. So hopefully maybe I'll be able to get out with Lori or the girls.
Nice.
And that would be really cool because it's it's something I really enjoy doing, and you want to share it with somebody. And that's the same thing like when you're on a solo trip. One of the downsides of it is there's nobody to share it with. And I found the more solo trips I do, the less I like them because I just like the companionship of being there, especially if you're sitting watching some beautiful scene and you talk to somebody about it. Yeah. But it's cool.
You do a lot of solo trips.
Yeah, you do.
That's impressive and respectable.
Yeah.
I've done one night.
Sometimes it's the only way you can get out and do it.
Yeah.
You can't always, especially the glacier trips or some of the big ones, it's like people just can't, either the money's too much or they don't have the time to do it. So if you want to do things like that, sometimes you have to.
Yeah, just bite the bullet. Whenever you have to leave, you can leave.
I didn't realize we'd been going.
I know.
That long.
Well, that's the thing. If you don't, it goes.
That's a lot of live commentary to Andy. I want to get back to Andy.
The time goes
before she
really
has to go back
fast.
to
Yeah. We don't want to keep you from your family.
Another good question. Do you get any grief for buying all this gear?
I got the button ready.
Say no. Say no.
No, I don't. But I think sometimes when I buy, and I haven't really bought all that much gear lately.
Yeah.
But when I first got into it, there was a lot of there's a lot of commitments and money that's involved in just getting your gear the first time, and I think there may have been the house purchases that were taking in equal quantities, but I
was about to ask you that. Yeah.
So I don't know that was directly attributed to like, okay, you can go buy this if I buy this gear, but I think some of that might have been going on.
Yeah.
That was my next question. It's like, so
little
you get
negotiation.
To buy,
Yeah, so it's like
this? Okay.
it's like I'm a little afraid about buying that, the new pack or the duplex, right, for $600, because then the next thing I know I'm going to be paying $8,000 for a new driveway, which is the standing threat, or the granite countertops. It's like, well, that's like nuclear war compared to my grenade.
You can buy a lot of Z-Pack stuff with granite countertops.
Yeah. It's just like, oh, David, I see you like to prioritize your new pack, but you don't want to prioritize our house.
That's exactly right. So you got to be a little careful.
Oh, that's funny. Oh man. Yeah.
Well, we can wrap it up.
We can wrap this up.
Okay.
Yeah.
This has been so much fun.
Yeah, it has been.
David,
we got to do this again.
Yeah. Anytime you want.
Yeah. All right. And we have to actually take like a real backpacking trip.
There was a lot of comments in here about like a trip together. So would
be a blast.
Yeah, we would have a good time doing that.
All right.
Yeah, thanks to everybody who
who
was posting and joining us in the chat. We really appreciate it. Thanks for asking the questions, and we'll see everybody on the next one.
All right.